everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be making reinforced chair socks, and we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be making reinforced chair socks. You are going to need a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. Now I did the polymer clay and then baked it to give myself a wider handle. I highly recommend doing this, but don't go as high as I did. I find that this is a bit annoying, so I would go down a little bit more. I'd probably only bring the clay up to here. Anyway, learn from my mistakes. You'll also need a pair of scissors, measuring tape, some yarn. Today we're using Red Heart Comfort, and this color is called Java, and it's a 4-ply medium weight, and I get the really large balls that you can get from Walmart. Okay, so I'm making a reinforced chair sock, and this is why. I have chair socks on my chairs, and my dining room chairs, kitchen chairs, well, they're dining room, but this is attached to the kitchen. Anyway, they get used a lot, and I find that the bottoms wear out, obviously, a lot faster than the tops. So we're going to do a double bottom. So here's how we're going to do it. Cross your yarn. We're going to chain 1 and 2. Now, going into that first chain that you made, catch your tail. We're going to do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Slip stitch into that first stitch that you made, pull through, chain up 1. So that was our first round. If we did it right, when we pull our tail, it's going to cinch up the hole. Okay, now in every stitch around, we're going to put 2 stitches for a total of 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Slip stitch into that first stitch, pull through, chain up 1. So now we're going to do one more round, and this one we're going to add 6 stitches to a total of 18. So we put 2 in one stitch, and then we put a single in the next stitch. So we're going to do multiples of 3 until we get to 18. So always 2 in the first stitch, 1, 2, and then 3 is a single stitch. So 4 and 5 go into one stitch, and 6 is a single stitch. 7 and 8 is in one stitch, 9 is a single stitch. 10, 11, and 12 is a single stitch. 13, 14, 15 is a single stitch. 16, 17 in one stitch, 18 is a single stitch. Slip stitch into that first stitch that you did. Okay, make a big loop. Cut a bit of a tail. Now put your tail through your loop pull tight. Now we're gonna take our darning needle. Sorry, that's my little knitting crochet go bag. I do have a video of what I all have in there, but one of the things I have in there is my darning needle. Okay, so we're gonna hide our 2 threads. Okay, so all I do is I go in the stitches. If it turned out that you didn't catch your tail quite right at the very beginning and that hole didn't close, you can use this tail to close that hole. Okay, and then I don't put any knots or anything, I just stitch around, and then we're gonna take our outer one and hide that thread. Okay. Just towards the middle, a few stitches. Always go a little bit back and then a little bit past where your working yarn is. Okay, and then give that a snip. Now set that aside. We'll come back to that. So now we're gonna do the same thing again. So grab your yarn. So we're just putting this one aside. So grab your yarn, cross over, chain 2, 1, 2. In that first stitch, put your chain and catch your tail. See how I wrapped my tail around there? There you go. And then pull through. We're doing 6 stitches. 2, 3. So we're going to do the same like we just did, but don't cut your yarn. So get up to 18 stitches and meet me back. Okay? Okay, so I've done my 18 stitches around. If I did my tail right, when I pull, the center should close up, and it did. I'm going to slip stitch into that starting stitch and chain up 1. Okay, now take your other piece. We're going to put wrong sides together. Actually, let's hide. Let's hide that middle. Let's hide this middle thread first. So make your loop big, and let's just quickly hide this so that it's not sticking out. Okay, so we'll just give it a few stitches, and if that center piece didn't close properly, this is when you could just sew it shut. Okay. And then we'll just give it a snip. Okay. Now, sorry, back to where we were. So we've chained up 1, okay? Now putting wrong sides together of the 2 pieces, we are going to go in the back loop of our working piece and through the 2 loops of the reinforced piece, and we're going to do a single crochet. So through the back loop only and through the 2 loops of this stitch of the other one, and we're going to do a single crochet. We need 18 single crochets, so that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, So see how it's giving us a ridge? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, now this is what we've got. So see, it's double and reinforced. So rather than doing a slip stitch into the next stitch right here, see, we would be going right here, going through the proper hole stitch. Now we're just going to do a single crochet, and we're just going to start doing it in spirals. So you don't have to count anymore. And we're just going to do this until sitting flat. So when I say sitting flat, I mean sitting like this. Okay, because this is going to start forming the tube. We want it 2 inches long. Okay. So, you know what? With the reinforced bottom, let's go 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches long. So do that and meet me back. And we're just single crocheting properly, like not just in the back loop. We're just going single crochet all the way around, and it's just in a spiral. We're not attaching with a slip stitch. Do that, 2.5 inches, meet me back. Okay, so I've done my 2.5 inches. There we go. See, 2.5 inches. So now what I do is I'm going to make a long loop, give myself a bit of a tail, and then I'm going to go in the loop. I'm going to slip stitch into the next chain and then pull my yarn through my loop and pull tight. Now I'm simply going to take my tail and I'm just going to weave it in. Now remember, when you're weaving in tails, you always want to go a little bit. So see, my working yarn is coming here. So I want to go a little bit behind it and go past it. And then I got a little behind it and past it. And you can go in a circle or straight or whatever. Little behind, past it. There we go. And I give it a snip, and there you go. Now you make as many as you need for your chairs. And that's all there is to the reinforced chair sock. So I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.